Welcome to part one of this 5-part series, a conversation that was never planned, yet unfolded exactly the way it was meant to. What started as a simple lash appointment turned into a 3-hour, soul-level exchange between two women walking similar paths. My guest today is a therapist and an art curator who has dedicated her work to supporting Indigenous youth, preserving stories through creativity and using art as a form of healing. Together, we dove into the things that shaped us, the places that changed us, and the moment that opened our eyes. This first episode is the beginning of a journey, gentle, honest, and transformative. Thank you for being here. Let's begin. Welcome back to the Lash Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Lisa, and we're here with one of my clients today, her first time in the studio. So we are going to just dive right in. No names, just going through her consultation. So you're here for a volume set. Correct. I would definitely recommend doing, because you have downward facing eyes, I would definitely recommend not doing anything too heavy on your outer corners, just because we don't want to weigh down your lashes. Definitely something open eyed. It's called doll eye. Your longest lengths would be almost to the end. Okay. What kind of length are you interested in?
I know there was, I think, 12 or 14 that we will work with.
Okay.
So when my previous lash person, she would do the fans like as we would go.
Yep.
So I remember her saying, like, are we doing 11 or 12 14s today? And I would just let her do her thing.
Makes sense. Did you like how long they were? Did you wish they were longer? Did you wish they were shorter?
No, I didn't wish they were longer.
Okay, no problem. Are you a heavy makeup wearer?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Because then when you get full glam, it just truly ties everything together. So how long have you been in your career as a therapist?
I've been working in the field with Indigenous youth in care for the last decade.
Wow. I used to work with Ojibwe CFS for about 3 years. So you do therapy as well. Do you do that full time?
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
I graduated this time last year.
This time last year? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you want to do that?
It's natural to me. People just want to be heard.
Yes.
And validated and believed. I can hold space for anyone. I know how to regulate my nervous system so that you're open to me. A lot of people share random things about their life with me. And even just
Just a random stranger.
Yeah, random stranger.
Yep.
So I was in New York in the summertime, people who smoke cigarettes, they look at us like we're weirdos. I walked outside and I looked for the other weirdos who were smoking. So I went to go sit in the park. And this woman sat next to me and we sat there for 2.5 hours just chatting.
You needed to find her that day.
She wanted to hire me.
Really?
Yeah, to be her therapist.
Wow. Did you take her up on the opportunity?
I said yes. I feel like I'm good at what I do. 90% of my clients still contact me, even though our work has officially completed. They still reach out and I still talk to them and check in.
That is fantastic. When people are doing therapy, they're putting a lot of weight on you. How do you avoid taking that baggage home?
I don't. So I don't even think like that. I know that I'm my own person. You're your own person and you have your own experiences and that's what makes you. Even though may have had these challenges and you share them with me, I know that they're yours. So I'm not taking anything. And then the other thing I do is I tap into my culture. So we have a lot of cleansing ceremonies and I smudge lots and I go to sweat lodge ceremonies and I smoke my pipe and I'm a sun dancer. I really hone in on our Indigenous ways of knowing and being. My best friend in the entire world, they are Indigenous, her and her husband and the whole family, and I'm Caribbean, Guyanese. Whenever I talk about my culture and my religion, we have so much more in common than you think, especially on the cleanses, especially on the gatherings, and food is like one of our main things of how we mend each other. Like, okay, you're not feeling well. I made you this. It's like when you feel sick, the first thing that your parents would do, they'd make you some tea. For us, it's bush tea. So they would just have blends of herbs and spices and they would make this tea. I got to share a bit of my culture with them. I'm Hindu. So we have this thing called Raksha Bandhan where whoever I choose as a brother, I tie that string around their wrist and they have to wear it until it literally falls off. And I have that.
What? What does yours signify?
It's fire, water, something else. But this was I got this from the waterfall
Wow.
in Bali.
I've got goosebumps. What is going on? And then his Raki, it took over a month to fall off, and the longer it takes to fall off, that is how many blessings you're gonna get, and that's how strong your bond is with that chosen brother. And then it just keeps uplifting you, and you uplift them. We had like a situation earlier this year where I'm a very strong person. And I don't like to be soft, which is crazy for the work that I do. I'm a pink collared girly, so I have to be soft. But they caught me when I fell. And it was crazy because I was like, I'm safe here. Like this is crazy. So it only made sense for me to do that. Even my mom was like, are you gonna tie it on him? And I was like, light bulbs? Like duh, of course. That makes so much sense. I explained it to him. Explained exactly what it is, what the process is. He was going out places and everyone's seeing this man wearing this bracelet and people are like, do you know what that is? And he's like, yeah, and he explained it and they're like, wow, your sister really loves you for the fact that she taught you everything. He would just call me and be like, hey sis, another person was like da 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 and they love it or whatever. And I was like, yes, exactly, because like this is how it works. My entire thing is we're all created equal. There's literally only one race. It's the human race. We're all created equal. They only created these different kind of like religions and stuff like that to try and separate us. When really at the end of the day, we're so similar. It's mind boggling, even though it's not. Yeah, what's your take on that?
1,000% true.
It
I
is.
totally have experiences with other Indigenous people from all over the world. I travel frequently internationally, so it's really affirming that I came here to get my lashes done and I'm having this conversation.
Divine alignment is literally what I'm all about.
So I feel like the other people in the world, we all have similar beliefs at the core of who we are. They're all similar. We just live in different places.
We do. Spread out all over the map. But we are so similar that it's insane. And then the ones that doubt it are the ones that haven't woken up yet. And that's okay, but they're going to. They're going to wake up very soon. They have to.
I'm actually in the process of writing a book for I'm choosing 28 Indigenous women from throughout the world
Okay.
to share a story or a ceremony.
Okay.
And right now I have about 15 people. I have a queen of the Rastafarian community in Jamaica.
Ah,
I have this phenomenal midwife from the Philippines, and she's half American. But she's birthed a whole community in Bali. A whole community called her like Mother Robin.
yes.
And she's a 2011 Shiro by CNN.
Wow.
So she's gonna write the foreword for my book. I have other Aboriginal women from Australia and New Zealand and other Indigenous people in Canada and the US. And I'm trying to tap into Peru or maybe Guyana now.
Please tap into Guyana. Oh my god, my dad lives there.
Oh,
I could literally get you connected with anybody.
Yes, girl.
Anybody.
Yes,
like, just say the word, figure out who you want. I could even ask him who would probably be the best, most influential woman that we can get on this train. And he would be able to figure it out real fast. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, have you seen Gordon Ramsay has gone to Guyana?
No.
So Gordon Ramsay did this thing where he went to Guyana, but the very first thing, like he didn't go to where like the Guyanese people are. He went into the bush where we call them Amerindians, so American Indian. So Amerindian people where they are and the foods that they eat. And he focused on that. And like that's important, but I think he should have covered because there's so many different versions of Guyanese people. Like it's literally one people, one nation, one destiny. That's our motto. But like he just went and focused on one sole area, which cool. That is completely fine. You wanted to venture for this? Cool. At the same time, he didn't cover as many things as I wanted him to, which he needs to run it back. Absolutely. Gordon Ramsay, if you're listening to this, run it back, please. No, I would get you hooked up with so many amazing people because literally my entire existence is all about finding influential women. So I'm so happy you're here today. You have no idea.
Awesome.
Okay.
I chose number 28 because your birds that we have a 28-day cycle.
Oh my god, I consistently talk about the 28-day cycle with like everybody because I'm like, you don't understand, like the calendar year is wrong because there's a 28-day cycle and it should be revolved around this. Instead, what is it revolved around? Taxes. literally collect just like some origin of taxes and debt collecting and whatever. It really should be about the women's lunar cycle. Exactly. It's crazy. So first and foremost, I'm gonna start off by washing your lashes. I always do this just because I need to have a clean slate. You as an artist would understand that you can't make art on a dirty canvas. It doesn't work like that. You could come from a fresh shower, you could come from work. I don't know. I think this is so cool that you get to be my very first actual client that I get to do this with. And that is alignment at its finest because I've been going back and forth in my head about wanting to do this podcast for a long time. Like we're talking the beginning of the year, if not last year. Something in me just kept like nagging at me, girl, do it, do it, do it. And now it's the end of the year. It's December 2nd, and right before you came, just finished recording my other episode, and then I was like, it's good, but I want more. And then, of course, you came, and of course, this happened because, of course, we're literally divinely aligned. I'm not even shocked anymore when things happen. I just get the goosebumps, and I'm just like, as if this is happening right now. So cool. It is. So, you're going to New York. Yes. I'm going to New York. I'm going to Toronto first. What are you doing in Toronto? I'm attending a conference. Nice, nice. And then I'm going to New York for art exhibition. What's the art exhibition about? The art exhibition is called Encoded, and it's actually a unsanctioned exhibition. Unsanctioned means that the Met did not give permission. Okay, so this is happening at the Met. Yeah, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, how are they going about this? Who are the artists? What are they doing? There's 17 artists. Okay. I can't name all of them. Of course. But one of the artists who I really like adore their work is Chinupa Hansa. Chinupa. Yeah. I like that name. So I've seen his work like everywhere. I've seen it at Miami Art Basel. I've seen it in New York. He was in Times Square. So he's like a phenomenal artist. And so it's digital art in the American wing. And of course, it's like all these old colonial paintings. So the Indigenous artists took over with their Indigenous brilliance and excellence, and they made art over the the original paintings that are in the space. Oh wow. So literally like taking over. Yes. Yes. But had no idea. Of course not. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So crazy. Yeah, so it's only on until December 31st. Mm-hmm. And since I'm kind of nearby in Toronto, I'm gonna go. It's right there. Yeah. Get your eyes open. Let's lay the pads. That's so crazy exciting. And like the fact that I literally just got back from there and I didn't get to go see it just because it was crazy. I was literally probably just busy with family the entire time, but around New York itself, I just didn't get a chance to. I wish I didn't miss that because that would have been insane. My guided tour is on December 13th. Nice. Yeah. So I think it's one of the co-curators. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited. As a curator myself, I feel like it doesn't get any better than to experience the exhibition with the actual curator. Yes, because then you get to fully like immerse yourself in their work and around them. Yes. And you said you have art already here in the city? Yes, I have 2 permanent exhibitions at IKEA Winnipeg, and it's 2 massive spaces inside this giant retail store. Wow. I gotta go check you out. Like, I need to see what your work looks like. Yeah. So it's called Come Home. I love that. And I translated into both my languages, and it's Bigaywin and Anishinaabemowin and Pekiwe in Ininu. Mm. So it's an invitation for everyone to come home and learn about the people and the place where you work and play. And I love that. You can go inside an actual real teepee. Wow, that's literally crazy. What avenues did you have to take to get there? Girl, being authentic. I swear. I swear, if you show up as yourself 100% of the time, that's actually all you need to do. You don't need to come as anyone else. If you show up as yourself, doors are just going to open wide. And then you just get to waltz right in. Eyes closed. Perfect. Does everything feel comfortable? Yes. Good. I was contacted on LinkedIn. So in my other works, I've co-curated exhibitions of
Montreal and Toronto, and around the corner here as well on Arthur. Okay, that's literally like a block away. I worked around the corner. It was called Window Winnipeg, and it was the only 24-hour exhibition art space in the city because it's like on the outside of the building and it's like a big window. And the artist I chose to work with for that space, he won the Sobey Art Prize last year. Wow. Nico Williams. Wow. Yeah. And then because of that, that kind of opened more doors for you? Yes. That's crazy. Yeah. I love art. I especially love like artists who are really close to home and their culture. Yes. Yes. So like BIPOC artists are my favorite. Yes. Because it really shows they are fully resonating with where they came from, because I know everyone says this, but never forget your roots. You never can forget your roots, because if you know where you came from, you know where you're going. Yes. And that's huge. So I posted all my art stuff over the years, and IKEA Canada reached out and they asked me if I would ever be interested in potentially working with IKEA Winnipeg. So of course I said yes. And then they asked me to come in and meet with them. So I brought in all my art stuff. But then they asked me, what else do you do? So I told them all my other work. So I work closely with Indigenous youth, and I go to lots of ceremonies, and I do a lot of community work within the city and around the city. And they asked me if I could also be their Indigenous advisor. Girl, you literally, you are that girl. You literally are that girl. And that makes me so happy that all of this happened because you authentically showed up as yourself. You came as you are, and they loved you for it. That's the way it goes. It's so funny that you're here right now, because earlier today for like my recruiting job, we randomly started talking about IKEA and whatever, and I was just like, "Oh, like you got to go back because have you ever tried the very berry frozen yogurt?" It's like, "No, I want to try their meatballs. I've only ever had their french fries." I was like, "You got to go back." Now, when she comes here for our podcast episode, because she's an art therapist, I'm going to literally tell her, "Oh, you have to go back and see my girls' exhibition." That is so cool. I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much. That is crazy. So I'm extremely proud of that work. And it's permanent. And it's permanent. Yeah. Everyone gets to see it. Yes. So actually, I was teaching there this weekend and last weekend. So they have a business center space next to the cafeteria. And because I reached out to them first, because I was looking for a space to rent so I can teach, they said yes, absolutely, at no cost. Wow. So now I sparked this, other invitation of let's open this space up. Let's have the public access this space. That's awesome. So they're gonna start letting anybody rent the space for free. Really? And it's like a business space. Yeah, it's like a bunch of like benches, and you can have tables and chairs, and there's two TVs in there. You just gave me the craziest thing ever. Currently, right, I'm working on my own book. I'm currently in school to be a lash educator. So I'm going to be teaching, training, and certifying girls to do what I do. So I'm in the midst of writing my manual, and like props to you. Like it's a lot of work. But eventually I'm going to need a place to teach, train, and certify these girls. You can access the business center at IKEA. Well, now I know that. So thank you for that. And then you guys can also go to the exhibition. Yeah, literally, believe me, if I know something, put everybody on. Like, no child gets left behind. Okay? This is crazy. I do a lot of meaningful work, and I know that everything I do is going to be felt and heard in a good way. Tenfold for generations to come. Yes. If you just keep showing up and you do what you gotta do, it's so worth it. Yes. What challenges have you run into while doing this? Doing the exhibition was challenging because, again, I'm by myself and I don't have a colleague or a coworker to bounce ideas off of. So it's just straight up me and my ancestors. Lots of tears. Yes. Lots of, offering spirit dishes and tobacco and asking for guidance and hoping and praying that I'm doing right by them and honoring all of them. Where I come from is a really small place in northern Manitoba. And I was adopted at birth to my grandparents. My grandma took me home from the hospital here in Winnipeg. And then she died when I was 11. Wow. So I only had her for 11 years. And then at the time, there's no resources like we have now. So at the time, my family made a decision to put me in Child and Family Services. So I became a permanent ward of CFS. And at the age of 19, I aged out with nothing. So I've been on my own since I was 11. So when I think about that and where I am now and the opportunities that I have and the experiences are extraordinary. And I believe in myself, and it's hard to know that IKEA Canada chose me. They could have chosen anyone, but they could have, but they created that role specifically for you. Yes. And I don't know if you know this. I don't know how familiar you are with like tarot and all of that stuff, but recently I've been learning more about like tarot cards. I understand where it comes from, so you always have to be like fairly careful with it. But I learned that my card in tarot is the death card. So I'm all about transformation, rebirth, and all of that stuff. And I can be able to like help those who may not fully understand why certain things happened or transpired, why that took place. And one of the most important things that I've learned through that is the fact that your ancestors, so your grandmother who passed on, um, she only passed on for the simple reason of being able to protect you from a higher frequency. Because whatever it was that she was dealing with in this life, she might have been limited to the certain human situations that we have going on. So, whether it's health concerns or anything like that, she'd be limited to it. She knew that she needed to take you out of there, and she knew that she needed to pass on to be able to protect you from a whole other level. Because, girl, being on your own from the age of 11, that's no easy feat. I never wish that on anybody because that is hard. Yeah. So I have a lot of empathy and I know what it's like to, a child in CFS. So that's why I have so much love and adoration for children in care. One of my end goals in life, and I've been talking about this for a long time, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but literally, if there's a will, there's a way. Obviously, CFS is very broken, and you know that. I know that. I want to open up an orphanage, which is going to function as a private school so that I can be able to take in those who have been less fortunate, unfortunate, or just going through a very, very difficult time, whether it be immigrating into this country or just not having the resources to fully take care of their kids in the way that they should be taken care of, that they can come in and be able to reside in this place where it also functions as like a private boarding school, so they're getting the ability to grow, learn, and cultivate the way that they should. Because the hardest thing for me when I was dealing with my kids in CFS, I don't personally have any kids, but those were literally my babies. Is whenever they would go home and I would be picking them up from families' houses or whatever from like their mom and such. And I would always have extra clothes in the car for the simple fact that those kids, their moms would dress them in certain very revealing clothing, like lingerie basically. And I'd be like, baby, why are you wearing this? Like, what's up with this? They're just like, oh, my mom bought me this because my uncles are coming over. That killed me. And obviously, as like a third party person, I'm not allowed to go and communicate with the parents. Like as much as I wanted to go and say something, I couldn't, right? So I'd always have like extra clothes in the car just to be like, okay, here, change. Just to make sure. Because at that time I was always on the go. So I always had like sweaters or sweatpants or whatever. So I'd be like, here, just take this, you're good. And then I would bring them home and you could kind of see them relax once they got to be in like normal clothing. But that killed me because some of them were as young as like 12. That's sad. It is. These are the things that I want to try to avoid in this world. And I know it's going to be a very difficult situation. You want to do that here? I want to try to figure out if I could do that here. Going around CFS is going to be crazy. But I want to also, like, I have the opportunity to go do that in other parts of the world. Like, one of my friends, through social media, they were giving me the opportunity to go do that in Mexico. Because one of their friends is building, and the building happens to have like an early childhood care facility in it. But they were more so wanting me to go and help run that. However, that would kind of take away from what I do, which is this. Like, this is my place of peace. This is my happiness. I'm not saying that I'm going to do this forever. That's why I want to create the Half Salon, Half Lash Academy and grow from there. However, that is definitely one of my end goals in life to get that dealt with. That's awesome. I love that you're also, investing in other avenues. Absolutely. That's so important. We live in a new world. So like you having this one career forever, like that doesn't work anymore, you know? Nope. We need to live life and do all the things that we want to do. I love that we can also go to school and work and going to school, like working on our goals. So I'm really excited for you. Thank you. I think it's so important. You know how everyone says, oh, I'm too old to go back to school, or I'm too this, or I'm too that. Why do we limit ourselves on what could truly set us free? Like, there's so many different avenues out there, and there's so many different things. I truly have had like quite a few different jobs in my life, and I don't ever want to limit myself by being like, yeah, I did this job for X amount of years and blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that's very cool and that's very commendable. However, I don't think that we should continuously stick ourselves in certain things. God created this world with so many different possibilities, so many different avenues to go through. I think we owe it to ourselves to try everything. I totally agree. And to see everything. Because traveling is one of those most important things that removes the natural like ignorance that everyone's kind of born with, because we don't know what goes on in the world. I also think ignorance is a very funny word because, like, to certain people, it can seem like a very, like, standoffish word. However, when you actually, like, know about what it means and, like, you understand it, no words are fully standoffish. It's just like, oh, we are kind of born without knowing everything. And then we get to learn and experience everything. What better way to experience new things than immersing yourself in full culture? Yes. My one of my goals is that I would love to take Indigenous youth to other Indigenous cultures throughout the world. So I do want to, take a group. But the barriers I face is that I do have my own business and I am registered with the government of Canada. But they have these other loopholes that you have to go through in order to receive funding. Mm. The government and their loopholes. I swear. It's literally like, I don't know, when you figure out a way to jump through one hoop, by the time you figured out that way, there's like 50 other hoops to jump through. Yes. So then it's very difficult.
This is why showing up as your authentic self will always open doors aligned with who you truly are. Thank you for listening to part 1. This conversation opened doors we didn't even expect. And in part 2, we go even deeper into identity, intuition, and the moments that shaped our lives. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. I'll see you in the next episode. If you resonated with this episode, let us know in the comments and send me any topics you'd love for me to dive into. Stay blessed, Slash Babes. You got this.